Hello, everyone, and welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 57. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Overpriced catalytic converters and failed inspections.
Ooh, I don't drive a catalytic converter, do you?
It's a Pontiac converter.
Have you ever seen the people misspelling catalytic converter?
The Cadillac converter, the Catholic converter, the Catholic converter.
Don't they all need that?
Heyo.
Well, Steve, what are we drinking today first?
It appears that we've got us a Bernheim Original Wheat Whiskey, 7-year, small batch, barrel aged. And what is this? So we have here the Untitled Art Macadamia White Chocolate Stout from 8th State Brew Co. of Wisconsin. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's town.
And it's a paltry 15% ABV.
If I recall correctly, that is the maximum strength beer allowed in this dumb state. Well, crack 'em if you got them.
3, 2, 1. I think we should probably drink the whiskey first. Well, I don't know. Let's cheers.
Lower part of the can.
Yes.
Let's face it, we're the two most contaminated people we know right now.
Holy fuck. Oh my god, that's delicious.
Yes.
Where's the 15% ABV? That's like max. It tastes like a max of like 8.
It's a yoo-hoo.
It tastes like yoo-hoo.
It's incredible.
I'm glad you went there with that.
And you said this was 21 for a 4?
Yeah, $21 for a 4-pack.
But it's also triple strength beer.
I know, but when it goes down like that kind of cheap whore, then Bernheim is actually bottled by not Buffalo Trace, but it's bottled by oh my god, who is it? Without looking it up, I'm trying to remember it.
It was out of Bardstown, Kentucky.
Yeah, but it's by Heaven's Hill. Heaven's Hill,
not Heaven's Gate.
Cemetery Gates. Cheers to that too, buddy. I love that. That is so good. The wheated whiskeys are sweeter.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, and it's only a 7-year too. Usually the bourbons are at least 8 years, and most of the time 10. Yeah, but that one's really good.
My beloved Canadian is 8, but the last one I bought was not the aged because that was cheaper.
Oh, well,
going through a lot of that at home. Why, AJ? How are the ABC stores still open right now?
They are essential
because you don't want recovering drunks littering your emergency rooms right now.
Says you. That'd be a great reality TV show. Corona and the drunks. Steve also has brought some. I'm going to just go ahead and go out on a limb here and say delicious beef jerky.
Yes. That is from the Ailing Earth Fair from now a month and a half ago.
R.I.P.
But, it's jerky, so it's not going to go bad.
Grass-fed beef jerky. So, cane sugar, water, sea salt, raspberry juice concentrate, and spices.
Sweet chipotle.
The less ingredients, the better. Well, Steve, it is...
It's got an ingredient you can pronounce.
Can you believe this? It is National Beer Day today.
And isn't it?
For us, yes. But today is officially National Beer Day. And before we get into...
Who's making up all these Facebook holidays anyway?
Look, I know, but makes for good TV.
That is one of my favorite Danny Warhol songs. Every day should be a holiday.
Yeah. So, do we get into beer news first, or do we go into the top quotes I found about beer and alcohol in honor of National Beer Day? That first?
Sure.
Okay. Well,
it's our show. Do what you want.
So, yes, today's National Drink Beer Day is what it's called. And so some of the beer quotes I have on the other side, and I'm sure you have a couple of beer quotes as well that you have learned or heard over the years. So, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Some people want champagne and caviar when they should have just had beer and hot dogs.
That's nice.
And so the beloved Sid Vicious from...
Sex Pistols?
Yes. I've only been in love with a beer bottle and a mirror. Are you going to pull up some of the good ones, too, while I'm going through this?
Here goes something.
Mr. Barack Obama in 2015 visiting Germany. Never had There's never a bad day for beer and Weisswurst. I don't know what
Vice versa.
I don't know what that is.
It'd be a white sausage.
Oh, that's what I
probably
mind.
akin to a bratwurst.
That's what I call my friend.
Your Frankenfurter?
Billy Carter, Jimmy Carter's brother.
Oh man, that was a wild dollop episode or Mo Rocca episode.
Yeah, you told me about that, but
yeah, that was cool.
No such thing as a bad beer. It's just some taste better than others. And our favorite Oscar Wilde. Work is the curse of the drinking class. That might be my next plate quote, to be honest with you. The Abraham Lincoln. The great point is to bring people the real facts and beer. Martin Luther, not the king, the actual Martin Luther. Whoever drinks beer is quick to sleep. Whoever sleeps long does not sin. Whoever does not sin enters heaven. Let's all drink and go to heaven.
Heaven Hill? What?
We could do that too. You got one?
Yes. Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister. Most people hate the taste of beer. To begin with, it is, however, a prejudice. J.P. Dunleavy, Irish-American novelist. When I die, I want to decompose in a barrel of porter and have it served to all the pubs in Dublin. I wonder who would know it was me. Jack Nicholson, no introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Beer is the best damn drink in the world.
Steve, Willie Nelson. There are more old drunks than there are old doctors.
Russell Crowe, actor.
Mm-hmm.
I have respect for beer. It's wonderfully understated.
Amen. David Sedaris. I tried to straighten him out, but there's only so much you can do for a person who thinks Auschwitz is a brand of beer.
Holy shnikes.
That's all I've read all mine. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to find
Ray Bradbury, founder of Star Trek. Beer's intellectual. What a shame so many idiots drink it.
Very fair.
Charles Bukowski, author, drinker. Say with the beer. Beer is continuous blood, a continuous lover.
I don't think I've read anything by that dude. Or anything in the last 10 years.
Stephen King, author, no further introduction.
Yes.
A man who lies about beer makes enemies. William Shakespeare, for a quart of ale is a dish for a king.
Ah, I like that one also. I could get used to this holiday thing.
All right, I guess one more for the people.
Okay, cool.
Abe Lincoln, number 16. I'm a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. How very apt. The great point to bring the real facts and beer.
Yes, that was the whole thing. I ran out of space. I ran out of the space. Did you see that, the meme? It was the guy buying a car. It said, cargo space? No, car no go space.
One more, because this is at Poe's Tavern north of Charleston.
Yes.
Who? Sad-faced poet. Filled with mingled cream and amber, I would drink that glass again. Such hilarious visions chamber through my chambers of my brain. Quaintest thoughts, queerest fancies, come to life and fade away. What care how time advances? I am drinking ale today. And the last two sentences were stamped upon Poe's Tavern.
Awesome. And where is that?
Mount Pleasant or Sullivan's Island.
Oh,
that's North Charleston.
Out near Lemonville.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, this is unbelievably good.
That is dangerous.
It's unbelievably good. Guys, gals, friends of the Playhouse, if you see this, I know it's expensive, but it's really fucking delicious. Like it's one of my new top fives. I like it that much. And we also have a peanut butter cup stout in there, too. That's
akin to me putting lots of Bailey's knockoffs in my coffee in the morning.
Allegedly.
Oh, totally. So Bailey's knockoff, half and half, this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And coffee.
That's next.
Which often tastes like I need a nap by 1.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Steve, we got some beer news. As always, this has been...
Brews News!
Brews News. I like that. Although I will say we started this maybe 15 episodes ago. Kind of the new trend here. It's our show. We'll do what we want. A lot of around the country, a lot of breweries, distilleries, what have you, wineries are doing home deliveries to keep their business going and keeping open drive-thrus like Noda, and I believe that's a good thing, and I honestly think it might stick around afterwards. What do you think?
Sure. That's been a really handy thing. Like, you don't always have time to hang out at a brewery when such a thing was allowed.
Well, that and, like, I want to know if there would be a reduction in drunk driving and drunk driving deaths for somebody
That's a good call.
who shouldn't go out and drink that night and just wants to have a night in. They can have it delivered to them. And, you know what? I think everything should be legal. This is a drug. Caffeine's a drug. I mean,
and I've got a garage full of both.
So, I mean, it's all about moderation. You know what I mean?
Including moderation.
So, okay. 40 New Jersey and New York area breweries are collaborating on an IPA called Altogether IPA, and it's going to aid all workers in the area who have been furloughed or laid off during COVID, especially your service industry and gig workers and what have you.
This is something I wrote to you early during this panic, was calling it COVIDs.
Without the quilt, because it spreads germ.
It's springtime. You shouldn't need one.
True.
It's too warm for that. It's 83 today.
The Brian Griffin. Oh, look, in the news, Magic Johnson's down to 1 aid. Steve, something I'm sad we've never tried. Beer bread is a new thing we need to try. And the only thing you need is a different beer and self-rising flour and a pinch of sugar to taste.
Only yeast and bastard's rise.
That's right. And if you don't have if you just have all-purpose flour, I think you just have to add the goods and it.
The Piven movie about selling cars.
What other movie's he in?
PCU. It's
doesn't ring a bell.
The 90s Animal House. Like, you don't watch movies, but you'll like this one.
What's a movie? But we need
something. Another industry impacted by all this nonsense. Like, the new James Bond has been bumped to November, so it comes out in November like every other one did.
Or
oddly enough, that one's called No Time to Die.
Oh, well,
that's a little too perfect.
You could watch every other James Bond and go, this is the exact same movie over and over again.
They bat 500.
Okay.
It really is half good, half bad.
That's fair.
Always ridiculous.
So I figure, which other franchise bats over 500? Not Fast and Furious.
Basically, it's going to be
Godfather?
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1 and 2.
I haven't seen any. You've seen Godfather, right?
Bits and pieces.
Okay.
It's interesting seeing how old the cars look in the first one from 1970.
Yeah.
That it's stuff going back to the 40s, and that one's like, that's just a 25-year-old car.
I know. Yeah.
Something
that
we're very familiar with.
Well, when we go into our topic later on cars, I'm going to explain to you why I think 80s and 90s were pinnacle of car design. But
definitely 90s.
Definitely 90s. So beer bread we need to try. Evidently, like using lagers and pilsners gives you a light and fruity sort of bread, whereas your stouts and your dark stuff, the natural sugars come out of it, and it gets a darker, sweeter bread. And IPAs give you like a sort of a rye, sort of like sharper, a good sharp taste. But we need to try that.
Yeah, man. I keep calling a rye IPA, a rye PA.
A rye PA. Santan Brewing of Phoenix is converting their expired beer into medical-grade sanitizer.
Interesting you should say that. Did you see my anniversary picture from Friday?
Mm-hmm.
In my hand is, in fact, a bottle of hand sanitizer purchased from Ollie's that I was ranting to you about prior to starting broadcast.
It's in Matthews?
There's one in Matthews and one in Concord, and then your next nearest one is Gastonia, so do with that what you will. Dodge it. $10 for a liter of this hand sanitizer, but it's very liquid, and it says explicitly on the bottle, do not drink. Of course I had to sample the taste of it.
You have to.
It is delicious hand sanitizer for $10.
Don't put a sign that says don't push the red button on it if you don't want the red button pushed.
Yeah. So it is very fluid rather than your conventional gel type hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And it's $10. And as of Friday, it was plentiful. I cannot vouch that it's still available there at this time, but brought to you, oddly enough, by Faber Distilling Company.
Ooh.
You've never seen the actual Animal House, but that was the college in said movie.
Faber,
Faber.
That's
like
my favorite
the fact
college.
that is the same name, filmed at University of Oregon. Go
Oregon.
Ducks, I think.
Yeah. Yes. The Oregon's the Ducks.
And
Oregon State's the Beavers. Yes.
Hey, Jinx Padlock.
So that's good. But it did look a fair bit more liquidy than your normal sanitizer.
Yeah.
But then, whereas KY Jelly comes out, it's super thick, but then it's super slick. It's very strange. I don't understand solids and science.
Liquids and
I majored in
stuff.
math.
Physics wasn't my strong suit either.
Alcohol sales are way up across the nation and the entire world since the quarantine orders.
Especially in Saudi Arabia.
But on that same note, unfortunately, also is our domestic violence claims.
Yeah, the whole stay home thing, that's lovely, except for those that really can't and shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed Emily's company before. Her being home all the time when I'm getting home. You know what? It's kind of nice to be greeted with a kiss and a how was your day, other than this, by three animals. Meow! 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 Feed us! Meow! So it's a change of pace. I mean,
Wait a minute. They can talk?
you didn't know?
Is this a Brian Griffin sort of thing that only some people can understand him, or Garfield can only talk to John?
Yeah. Although
Did you ever see Garfield minus Garfield?
No.
John looks like he's nuts.
You could do that with any animated series, but
that was the first, and my sister turned me on to that a long time ago.
I used to love Garfield and Friends. Like, even Animal Farm. Like, afterward, like that show was so fucking funny.
Yeah, the other thing, like, and nothing ever became of that.
I don't think it
And what
needed
was
it.
like Orson the pig?
Orson Pig, Roy Rooster, Lanolin the sheep. There were two sheep. There was a male and a female. Lanolin was the female, I think. But since my phone is currently videotaping us, I can't really look that up.
I have the technology.
Well, while you're doing that, my last bit of
And I changed my password, and I keep punching in the old one. Whoops.
my last bit of craft beer news is a Hanover, Pennsylvania couple under quarantine got married in their backyard in a very intimate ceremony because of coronavirus. And their favors included Corona beer and toilet paper. And evidently, they got married like 9 o'clock in the morning, and at like 8:30,
reception.
and the neighbor was cutting his cutting his grass, and he goes over and says, "Hey, how long are you going to be cutting your grass?" He's like, "I got like 10 more minutes." He's like, "All right, we're going to get married over here." He's like, "Oh, just let me know when to stop, and I'll stop." He's like, "Can I have a beer?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He gave him a Corona. And also Corona halts beer production.
I did see that.
Yes.
Like, hey, it's going to become a rare thing. Like, it's never going to be a rare thing. Like,
just because it's rare
still
doesn't mean it's good.
$25 for a 24-pack at Costco. Like, I took a picture of it last I was there just to chronicle, all right, this exists, and it's still exceeding $1 a beer. It should not.
Just because it is rare doesn't mean it's good. We got to think of cars like that. The rare but not good segment. We could do that with... No, you couldn't do that with music. Music's not exactly rare nowadays.
Or at least obscure. They're still obscure and not good, and I don't know where to go with that.
Well, I thought about another topic the other day was like masturbatory bands. Like bands that just make music complicated just because they're that good. Like Tool.
Prog rock.
Yeah, just make it complicated just for the sake of complication. Although Beato's new What Makes This Song Great was Seven Nation Army. But it was actually, there's more going on in that song than you would think. So go ahead. Animal Farm.
Apparently it was called U.S. Acres.
U.S. Acres.
So
okay. Animal Farm was the book.
Yeah, which is how and why that I can't read and I can't read and speak at the same time. Sorry.
Unless you just block me out of your vision.
Then I'll block this too, which is how and why that. No, I was getting Orson and Orwell mixed up. Never mind.
I think it was a play. It was a play on that though, because that was the idea.
But yeah, Royal the rooster and Orson the pig.
Was I right on Lanolin the sheep? One of the sheep.
Yes.
Lanolin. Okay. Don't ask me.
And Bo is the other sheep. Booker, a chick.
Yes.
Sheldon, the walking egg.
Wait, wasn't that a show on History Channel? Oh, never mind. That was Walking Dead.
That was AMC.
Whatever. It's fucking. It's all the same anyway.
Yes.
There's no history on the History Channel.
No. And how much Vice is there when they're airing American Top Gear? Oh wait. And then there was a second version that was very short-lived, and a third version starring Dax Shepard, Rob Corddry, is 4 episodes deep, but now halted production.
Have you watched any of it?
I don't even know if I can yet, but he was on Spike's Car Radio. Like they had filmed said episodes and then met a screeching halt.
I like Rob Corddry. Like I enjoy the characters he plays.
I like him.
Yeah,
mostly because I really hate David Koechner. He's an irritating piece of shit, or plays the part really well. Because if you look at the both of them, middle-aged bald dude.
Yeah, pick your favorite middle-aged bald dude, or pick your favorite bald musician. That would be a good episode. There's plenty. Well, are there plenty? Kowalczyk.
Him too.
Gesundheit.
You picked up what I'm pinning down.
Yes. Are we ready for the Black Velvet? I'm pretty sure we had a Black Velvet of some kind.
I'm pretty sure I brought the 8-year prior.
Okay, what's this?
This is the Toasted Caramel edition.
Okay.
You're going to like the way you smell.
Is this going to be allegedly a good coffee drink also?
I told you earlier I put this in.
That's right.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't
You
even know what day
don't need
it
to
is.
allege anything. It's Tuesday.
I woke up
the 7th.
I woke up from my nap today thinking it was Saturday because Emily's home.
So today you're off.
I was off today and I'm off Thursday.
All right. You want to go all the way?
Oh.
Or split the half?
Yeah,
split
let's
the rest
do
of
it. What's that? Let's go all the way. That's a song. Let's go all the way.
Sly Fox covered by ICP.
Which version's better?
Yes. It was probably the closest thing ICP had to musicianship was them covering it. And that was one of the cases of I heard the cover long before the original. Slancha.
Bottom. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to get the virus anyway. So.
Bottoms up.
I can't do a headstand. Fuck, that's good.
Kind of butterscotchy.
What I would really like to do is make a milkshake with that, and then I'd say that,
or get a cookout milkshake.
That's just
and
ice cream.
Add that to this.
Yep, that's my running gag. Is Cookout doesn't do milkshakes. They put ice cream in a cup, and they give you a straw that is the hole is the size of this, and then you're expected to just have an aneurysm and die on the way home. But my milkshake recipe, which I've told Emily about, which I've never made her, and this is our 10th year together, is vanilla ice cream, a packet of hot chocolate mix, and a one Oreo cookie, and that makes the best fucking milkshake. It's so good.
Speaking of anything Oreo related,
And milk.
because ice cream. Oh well. Costco's protein bars come in a cookies and cream flavor.
Good.
They're good.
Okay.
Oh, they're good.
We have.
I think
one.
it was like $16 for a 20-pack there.
Yeah.
And given my newfound dumb schedule, that's been handy to have. Granola bars and protein bars at the handy.
Well, your job is safe, correct? Like,
at least it is an essential industry, but hours have been reduced.
Okay, so I just want to make
sure. So now
sure
I'm pulling 18 hours instead of 40.
When it's over, you have your 40 back.
Yeah, and in the meantime, insurance kicked in early, so I was fully insured a week before it would have normally been taking effect on the 1st of April. no fooling intended,
Yeah.
and could still use PTO if need be to make up for lost money. I'm at least in a decent spot now. I haven't had to do that, but it's nice to know it's there.
That's true.
And I'm being harassed now that I haven't submitted my Social Security card because that went missing, I presume, in the home robbery 5 years ago. Luckily, no one appears to have stolen my identity in the meantime, but for a good time call, 555-55-5555.
Well, that's good news,
8309.
At least all the other shit's taken care of, too. We're just going to find you the catalytic converter on the... I can't believe OEM Toyota Cat, they wanted that fucking much for.
Well, anything out of a dealer, though, I can imagine is going to...
Yeah, but 1,500?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Does it give you a handy on when it starts up in the morning? Like
only the Power Glove does.
Yeah. By the way, I wonder how long I could keep that on without my hands starting to sweat.
At least it's not rubber gloves, as per, I'm sure, of your industry as well, but us dealing with cleaning cars all the time, it's just black gloves at the wazoo. There's an entire cabinet of them, so I've been repurposing used ones from work, like without explicitly stealing them yet.
Yes. I'm not wearing a mask or glove. Like, I figure I'm probably going to get it anyway, so I don't want to put off the inevitable, but...
Assume at least the gloves, though, just to...
I'm just not touching my face at all. Like, just at all. And I'm a chronic fingernail chewer, and today was the fourth time in 2 weeks that I've cut my fingernails because I have not been chewing on them. Actually, the fourth time in 3 weeks, I haven't chewed my fingernails since all this is going on. So I've had to keep cutting them. But actually, you know what? It's rather nice.
It's either that or just belt sand them.
Because I'll bite them until they bleed.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm compulsive like that. I don't know. That must be some underlining psychological matter. I need to consult the missus on, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Any one-on-one therapy is currently suspended, but TalkSpace is always available.
I got an email. I wonder if that'll pick up on the microphone.
Don't know, but I sure heard the whistle here.
I did too. Well, Steve, do we want to go into? We had music. We had a music topic, and because we have 2 music deaths, and we had a car topic. So I guess let's do the music first.
Okay.
Since it's the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, we did booze. It's only natural we go all the way out of order. So let's do the music first. So we've lost Mr. Kenny Rogers, and we've lost I forgot his name for Fountains of Wayne. Woefully unprepared we are.
Guy not named Wayne from Fountains.
He was a lot older than I thought he was. He was 57. That sound right? Like, he was almost 60. And when Stacy's mom came out, that was late 90s, right?
I think so.
If it wasn't late
Adam
90s,
Schlesinger.
Okay, so any relation to Eliza Schlesinger?
If only.
She's
dead from coronavirus at 52.
He's still older than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers didn't die of coronavirus, did he?
No, he had declining health for a while just due to age. So his passing was way less surprising.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
Don't have a lot to, so I won't.
Best thing I've ever put in... Well, not the best thing I've ever put in this studio, but rather comfy, though.
Yeah, most comfortable thing, maybe?
Definitely most comfortable. Yeah, for sure. But I can't name many Kenny Rogers songs, but when you look up his discography and you look at all he did, you're like, oh, I know way more Kenny Rogers than I thought I did. I think my favorite one is What Condition My Condition
totally.
Is. That's such a great song.
Followed by The Gambler.
The Gambler's great.
And his Seinfeld episode, the chicken joint, that Lasanu still existed in Malaysia.
What? That Malaysia? Like
Asia,
Malaysia.
Like the nation, like the prime minister being staked out in Zoolander. Yes.
By the way, never a good time for a facelift, but especially Kenny Rogers started to look really surprised all the time after his face. he went like that permanent I think I'd rather just look old.
Or the natural look. I'm thinking I'm falling into that just fine.
Just embrace it. But you know, I think most men age better than most women do, until the very end. Like Bill Burr said it best. Like, men do age better, but then at the very, very end, like, the women are still sharp and everything, and then that man has that permanent look of horror on it. Yeah.
Or look that's gonna give you horror.
You need to watch that bit. It's so funny. It's called Old Man Face. It's so fucking funny.
But it's just funny when he's not far off.
Mm-mm. Well, he's 50, and he's got like a 1.5 or 2-year-old at home from he and his African-American wife.
Rower.
Ginger comedian with a black wife. The kid's adorable, by the way.
Oh,
because interracial children.
Yeah. Archer said it best.
What'd he say?
Or in Archer when Pam said something about Lana and Archer hooking up. Like, the mocha ones are the cutest.
That's the solution to racism. Let's all fuck each other till everybody's one color.
South Park did it, then became the people from the future. That was like...
I need to watch more South Park.
Yes, you do. Say goodbye to your ass because you're going to laugh it off.
I'm trying to nurse this a little bit more because of the high ABV, but it's not helping when we're also downing it with whiskeys. What's the ABV on the Black Felt? It's 70 proof.
35%. So on the side of whiskey, it's lighter.
True, but it's from
Canada. I tried pronouncing the one on the previous bottle. Forget it.
Cananda, Iowa, New York, whatever. Fucking
or
Canada.
The importer, therefore, yeah.
It's from Canada.
It's imported through Canada, New York.
Yes. So what do you have up on the tablet? Is it Fountains or Kenny? Fountains of Rogers.
I have both.
Kenny Wayne?
I'm looking at Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I saw him open for Van Halen with DLR September of 15.
How was that show?
I have very little recollection of it, but enjoy myself, and as did my day at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then that went nowhere, obviously. Whoops.
That's okay, because you just celebrated your 4-year anniversary with Mrs. McNixley. The soon-to-be Mrs. McNixley.
Yeah, we're still trying to hammer that out, or if we have to do video eloping, she's totally on board.
Video eloping. I still want to be there. I'll be your officiant.
Neat.
Can I be? I got to be ordained first, but.
And what, the Church of the Dude? Because that's a thing.
What? No, sign me the fuck up.
You've never heard of Judas Priest?
No,
no relation to Rob Halford's band.
No, please tell me about this.
All I know is one can be ordained in the, we swear this isn't Buddhism, Church of the Dude, from this one movie.
Oh my God.
Which is funny, but my face-based persona is still the dude, and she is the rug. With our powers combined, the room is tied together. And the cat's barfing on it.
I will.
Damn it, punk!
I will absolutely get ordained and wear that outfit he wears, and marry you guys in the dude outfit. If you need an officiant, I will absolutely do that. That is my word to you.
Sweet. Otherwise, I would call up Baller, but getting from Atlanta to here now seems a bit of a tall order.
I mean, you can go a lot quicker. There's not as much traffic.
It's just the whole travel in general thing, long distance. Traveling around town, not such a big deal. Everyone's stay-at-home orders, and he does have a charger, so he already looks like a cop.
Yeah.
You never met him, did you?
No, I don't think so.
The 6'7" ginger dude at Kirkman's wedding?
I wasn't at Kirkman. Remember I had a show that night.
Yeah, you had a show.
Yeah. And I tried to figure out if I could
do anything.
There's no fucking way.
To make it from Belmont to Monroe, forget it.
And I didn't want to do an acoustic rock show in a suit in a brewery with no air conditioning.
That's the bigger concern. Like, you're welcome to look that much sharper than everyone.
Yeah, but I don't really care. I'd rather be comfortable. I'd rather be comfortable, I think.
Yeah, they don't exactly build suits out of quick dry material. It's wool or poly, or both.
I think mine's poly. I don't think it's cotton. I don't think they do cotton. Maybe
a
the blend.
shirt. Yeah,
Blend.
but typically the jackets are going to be wool and or polyester.
Evidently,
I trashed one of my old suit jackets, but it was Dad's old suit jacket. Like, this thing was so old, it was still made in Myrtle Beach.
Oh wow! Evidently, Segura and Kreischer have a bet on who can go without drinking the longest, and the loser has to buy them both dandy suits, like Paul F. Tompkins.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're going to try to like do a dandy suit like photo shoot.
Do you have access to HBO Go?
I don't think so. What do you need to access that with?
There's a your Roku can.
Oh. Well, no, it's on there. I just don't have
it's just the password thereof.
Do you know somebody with one? Wink, wink, wink?
My in-laws, therefore my TV's tied to it.
Okay.
On that is a 1999 Paul F. Tompkins special. He's still in a suit, but he doesn't have the mustache yet.
What does that look like?
Kind of exactly the way you think it would. It's absolutely him.
Yeah.
Gap teeth and suit and all, but no stash.
After watching the entire series of BoJack Horseman, I can't hear that voice or see him anymore without thinking of Mr. Peanut Butter. Have you watched the show yet?
Not nearly enough. I saw the first couple episodes.
It's so dark at times. Like it's one of the first shows I've watched where you genuinely don't know how it's going to turn out. Like you most of the time you'll watch a show, any TV show, Netflix, TV, cable, whatever, and you know kind of, even if the protagonist gets fucked over in the first 5 minutes, you know it's going to work out. With BoJack Horseman, you don't know what in the world is going to happen.
Wait, so you mean to tell me Leonard and Penny are going to get married and Jerry and Elaine never do? They hook up once and things go very sideways?
Yeah, exactly. So you know exactly what's going to happen. And in my TV shows, I don't want to know what's going to happen. Like, Emily likes mindless action movies, and I just don't. To me, it's boring because it's been made before. Like,
there's a reason it's an entire genre.
No,
dude.
it is. Rogan said, "Why do they make new porn? Have you seen it all? There's no need to make new ones."
Well, it's just a matter of this new 19-year-old getting nailed by some dude hung like the neck of that guitar.
I would say the neck of the bass. But that's a different genre of porn.
Per hour.
Are we
something wood?
Studio 57.
Wait a minute.
With Heinz. By the way, I like Heinz 57 sauce.
Me too. That I can't speak to enjoy that long before I ever got the taste of ketchup. And that said, Heinz over Hunt's.
For ketchup?
If I want
Fuck yeah.
If I want to put sugar on my fries, I'll just put sugar on my fries.
Do you know why Heinz ketchup is better than the other brands? Last time I checked, feel free to look this up, you bunch of fucking trolls, but last time I checked, which was admittedly over a decade ago, Heinz ketchup per serving had more sodium. And because
salt makes everything taste better.
Salt makes everything taste better. Last I checked, please don't. Feel free to look it up and prove me wrong, but last time I checked, like a bottle of regular Hunt's ketchup, regular Heinz ketchup, then store brand ketchup, like the Heinz, I think had more sodium content at the time. It might not anymore, but at the time it did. Although, did I tell you? Oh, go ahead.
Keep going.
My dad bought Hunt's ketchup one time, and I was like, it doesn't taste as good. Now, by the way, I was like,
this is why you'd never get ketchup at McDonald's. By the way,
you
put barbecue sauce on it like an adult.
8 or 9. I was 8 or 9 years old, and I bet him because I used to get a little. No, I didn't get a allowance, but I would do stuff around the house or do yard work, and I'd get a couple $. And I bet him a month of allowance that I could taste the difference in 3 different kinds of ketchup, and I could tell you which one's Heinz. And he said, no, you can't, you're on. So we got 3 bottles of ketchup. I think you got Food Lion brand, Hunt's, and Heinz. And a blind taste test, I picked out Heinz, and I won. When that was the first thing I bought when I moved out on my own, because he would never buy the big bottle of Heinz ketchup because it was too expensive. And when I moved out, I unpacked my boxes, we went grocery shopping, and I bought the biggest fucking bushel of Heinz ketchup I possibly could. And I think it lasted me like 2 weeks.
Was it a squeezy bottle?
Squeezy bottle. Should we break open this?
Sure.
Fuck yes.
You know, usually I'm against the whole eating on mic eating on mic, but hey, it's on camera and it's a pandemic and this stuff's going to be delicious. And
have you had this before?
And I think I bought the only 2 packets they had remaining.
Smell before you take anything out of that bag, and then just it's
yeah, so good.
Oh my goodness! But I smell more cherry than I smell raspberry. Oh, that's fucking good. I still say the Chipotle must be adding a little something because I don't taste any raspberry. Is beef jerky the perfect food?
Yes.
Explain to the people why.
It's beef, but you don't need to keep it refrigerated. It's delicious. It's savory. It's very satisfying.
Lasts a long time.
And oddly enough, love you long time. And typically it's low fat. Absolutely not low sodium, but
we've been over this.
Yeah. But yeah, rich in protein. Cholesterol's not going to totally murder you.
Have you ever seen the cholesterol count? Have you ever seen the little jars of pork brains at the grocery stores?
Pork rinds or pork brains?
Pork brains.
Pork brains.
Yeah. So
I think I need to find something else in my endeavors. Here, have this.
Okay. So we have a jar of pork brains. It's about half the size of this glass. So think where the rim is. That's the size of the
nice
jar.
2-3 ounce jar.
Yeah, that size. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That many pork brains. How much of your percent daily value of cholesterol is in that size?
120.
1,050%.
Did Gray ever tell you about the time I got veal brains at a Wrecking Bar brew pub?
Best part of the whole thing. I'm just kidding.
Whoa. Do not eat, says you. Are you trying to end the simulation? Because please do.
That should be on the list. On there. Go ahead about Gray.
Well, him on me.
Oh, yeah.
That at Wrecking Bar Brew Pub years ago, following the Decatur Beer Festival, went to Wrecking Bar, and one of the things they had on the menu was crispy veal brains. Well, this is fucking strange. And this was 5 years ago. Oh, yes, I must have it. And I got it.
And?
A, delicious. 2, don't look at it. But this was the most savory, salty, crazy thing I've ever had. And I never saw it on their menu since, nor anywhere else.
And since I've been drinking a lot of high ABV stuff, where was this again?
Wrecking Bar Brew Pub in west side of Atlanta.
Okay. Well,
where all the beer's good and the food's better.
We are going to do... I'm going to travel to all the places once all this shit's over with, and if I don't die from it. So, Karin wants to go back to Vegas in July or August, and if we book, we're just going to pile in like a 2-bedroom or a 2-bed. Like, we're going to pile in. We're all going to go. You're fucking going, even if I have to fucking pay for it. We're going.
We'll figure something out. I'll find you a buyer for the car.
Go fund me.
Go fund yourself.
That would be a good That might be the title of this episode. Oh my goodness. This is going to sound stupid.
Hashtag go fund yourself.
This is going to sound stupid, Steve, but since I'm not in school anymore, since I'm an old fucking bastard, when I'm writing, sometimes I have a hard time going, do I want to do all capital letters? Or sometimes I'll mix them in. Do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not going crazy.
What's your go-to lowercase?
All right, so go to, do you mean if I'm writing and what
Like
letter do I subconsciously always do lowercase?
If you're writing all caps, there's going to be a letter in the mix that gets lowercase.
R. And I don't even mean to.
E.
Yeah. I used to make myself write the A the fancier way, but then it became too it became too cumbersome to do.
Then it becomes number 2.
That's true. It really does.
And I bounce between loopy 2 and not loopy 2.
How do you write your lowercase q?
A 9.
I put the curly one on mine.
An 8. Context is everything, but we are fucked if we are writing passwords.
Somebody. By the way,
did you ever play River City Ransom on the Pi?
River City Ransom? No.
You are rivaling street gangs and you beat people up for their money.
Okay.
And in this game,
so
coming
capitalism?
Sort of. But it's Japanese, so it's okay.
Japanese capitalism is the greatest punk band name.
Yeah. Too bad I don't like Japan droids more than I don't.
Do continue.
But the original game came out in '89, and given that it didn't have a battery backup, you had a password system to save your progress, which was 30 characters. Uppercase, lowercase, digits, plus accent marks. You would never hate a game more than this. Otherwise, it's a lot of fun, but if you want to save your progress, at the time you needed a Polaroid.
Yikes. No, haven't played
or
that
now
game.
with save states, it's a fun one.
I've been sticking to the Mario games a lot because that's what I grew up with. Dr. Mario World, you still need to get on that. That shit is so much fun.
Well, the Dr. Mario World hack, because now Dr. Mario World exists as an Android game that's a morphing of Dr. Mario, the puzzle game, and taking all your money.
Huh. I didn't know that.
I gave it about 30 levels and then quit. This is getting really tedious, and I don't like having to triple kill a space on the grid. I
understand. Now, I'll listen to when I don't feel like doing music-related stuff. I'll sit here and see how many times I can beat Mario 1 during one podcast that takes like an hour and a half to listen to.
Nice.
Because I know all the secrets and shortcuts now. So now I can beat the game in about 8 minutes.
And you're going to become a speedrunner.
I don't have I have a wife, and I have things I like to do with her and to her that I don't really care how fast I can. I just killing time. Sometimes, especially lately, like I'll get off of work, and after dealing with people all day, I just want to turn my brain completely off and just because during this pandemic, we were seeing like this couple who were very clearly from Jamaica when I asked them how they were doing. And they had their 3 children with them. There's a pandemic going on. You shouldn't have all 3 of your kids here. One of you come to the store with a mask on. None of them had masks on. And B, the kids were picking up like a banana and picking it up like they were talking on a phone and had their mouth near the banana, which other people have probably touched that banana, so that's not safe. And then they're at my new Hispanic section, and the lady was like, I don't know. Which one of those do you want, honey? Do you want this one? Do you want that?
For those that are only listening, he's rubbing his face as mocking this lady.
And I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys, but ma'am,
stop
please
handling
don't.
anything.
please don't touch your face. She's, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I wanted to say, you were getting to third base with your own nose at this point. Like, how did you not realize you were doing this? And then the kids are just running around. They're not. So as soon as they were buying turmeric, and I threw it all away. Like, I knew what they were buying, and I saw her touching her nose. So I had to, like, I scooped it all up, threw it away, took it to the back, washed my hand. Like, really? This isn't a good idea when there's not all this going on.
At least it's good against cancer, but not against the plague. Two different things.
Did I tell you the joke I heard the other day? Guy goes to a doctor, gets a checkup. Doctor says, I got bad news. Got 2 bits of bad news for you. He goes, well, give it to me straight, doc. I'm old. I can take it. He goes, well, first bit, you got cancer. And he's like, that sucks. What's the second bit of bad news? He goes, you also have Alzheimer's. He goes, at least I don't have cancer. Steve, I think we got on a way big tangent from Kenny Rogers and Fountains of Wayne. So, us get
two bands that we know little about. Whoops.
Fountain of Rogers. So Kenny
Rogers got a good ring to it.
Kenny Rogers was 70. I'm gonna guess. I don't remember. I think I heard, but I'm gonna say Kenny Rogers was 79.
Nice. On my tabs are Heinz. Whoops.
Went from ketchup to Kenny. You pull that up and give everybody, like, just pull up the. What do you want next? I'll get it. By the way, the dog looks good, and the peanut butter one looks good. So, or if you want to drag out one of the ones you want,
break out the double whammy of the Skull IPAs, the New Belgiums.
I'll do that.
Liquid Paradises.
I could do that. While you pull up Kenny Rogers. See what condition.
For the baseball pitcher, see Kenny Rogers baseball. No. 81.
What?
38 till 2020.
1938.
Elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2013. Popular with country audiences, but also charted more than 120 hit singles.
What?
Across various music genres, including the Tripadelic, What Condition My Condition Was In, with the New Edition.
What year was that?
I think 68.
The New Edition or New Edition? Because I would love to see Kenny Rogers with 4 black dudes.
Go on. October 67.
What Condition My Condition Was? What was that song called?
Just Dropped In.
Just Dropped In.
In parentheses, to see what condition my condition was in.
I think I should do, on my album that will be coming out, I think I should do a hard rock cover of that. Yeah. That's going to...
Cover condition.
That sounds actually like it would be pretty rad. Because I was going to do a Soundgarden cover, but I can do multiple I can do 2 covers.
Funny thing, like, A, do whatever you want, and 2, if you want it to fit on a CD, just make it 80 minutes or fewer.
Well, the first album I did was 10 songs. This one, I have 3 originals written. So if I do 3 originals, or if I do 4 originals and 2 covers, a little 6-song like EP, I got to see if I can...
It's funny using the phrasing of yesteryear that it's a single, it's a long play, it's an extended play, it's an album. Guys, a release is a release, and now it's like, all right, is it a song or is it 19?
That was one of the most thoughtful gifts Emily got me, was my framed album cover.
And I helped.
Yes, you did. You'll be helping with the next one. I think I'm going to call it White Noise.
Yeah, I already told you what I wanted to do with that, right?
Well, the TV static, right?
Yeah, because I have old school tube TV and a pair of old school clicky label makers.
Well, how would you do that? Because I was thinking, like, if you did the TV static, how would you incorporate? Because I think it would be cool to have the keyboard, the Analog Crash logo, but incorporated in the static with the keyboard. Like, that might require Photoshop, though.
or some way to stabilize the butt end of the tube of the TV, have it sitting 90 degrees, so I have the tube sitting upright.
Yeah.
Put all the stuff on top of that, and then label make that. To make it a non-photoshopped image on top of actual TV static, which it is happy to deliver in a 15-year vintage. It's heavy, but it ain't that heavy. Unlike at the apartment,
Yeah.
I had the 32-inch Triniton. That thing was too heavy to move up the stairs on my own. I could still move the 27-inch Panasonic on my own.
Yeah. Well, I guess...
so there's that.
Oh, you popped it already. Steve, what are we drinking?
The New Belgium Liquid Paradise IPA. Weighing in at 7.8 ABV, y'all.
This one's going to the Hall of Fame.
Natch. For those that are paying any attention to this, here is Skullboy on a pour raft.
I'm just a schoolboy, nobody loves me.
He's just a schoolboy from a poor family. Spare him his life from this monstrosity.
That is so different than all the other things we've had today.
Yep.
Whew. It's good, just it's so different.
Yep.
By the way, we do need to do a spouse
this
episode.
This has nothing to say.
That's a good song by Soundgarden also.
It is. Thanks, A-Sides.
That's really good. Actually, I think Nothing to Say was also on Screaming Life, their EP in '84.
It was an early one.
Oh, that didn't feel very good. Are we going to delve into the Kenny Rogers discography, or I don't have my technology in front of me, so it's all on you.
I do, and I don't like that burden.
Well, we can do, although April 5th of 1994 and April 5th of 2002.
And today being April 7th, 2020, it's only apt to say Kurt Cobain called from 1991. He says we're all stupid and contagious.
Yep.
Which I found a picture that was captioned perfectly as he's holding an old school cell phone with a battery butt that Sir Mix-a-Lot will be very proud of.
And then one of my favorite lines from any Alice in Chains song was from Junkhead. You can't understand a user's mind. Try with your books and degrees. If you let yourself go and open your mind, I bet you'd be doing like me, and it ain't so bad. Very sarcastically, because he knew it was bad. But he died in 2002. He died that day, but they didn't find him until April the 20-something. And I don't know what you know about cadavers, but if you die and then they don't find you for 2 weeks, you are soup. The neighbors were complaining about a smell coming from across the hall. That's how they found him. They had to do a wellness check, and then I would not have wanted to be that person who had to go in there.
All these dumb kids want to go in for forensics from all these fancy TV shows. Like, if you don't have a sense of smell, maybe. And I know all of one person with that ailment, and it's not coronavirus related.
Who?
Amy? You do not know her.
I don't know Amy. Schumer?
No.
Oh, somebody actually funny?
Somebody actually cute. Or at least was.
Yeah, Schumer. Jesselnick could have done much better.
Uh-huh.
Jesselnick has one of my favorite opening bits of any comedy special. Permission to hear it?
Go on.
A friend of mine's wife called. She says, you know what? I don't want my husband hanging out with you anymore. You're a bad influence, and I don't like the way you talk about me. And he goes, well, frankly, I'm kind of hurt by that. Well, did he call you a bitch? She said, no. Did he call you a cunt? She goes, no. He goes, didn't hear it from me. I love Jesselnick.
Well, true to form, he also has a podcast.
What's it called?
The Jesselnick Rosenthal Vanity Project.
I didn't realize it was a duo.
He was on somebody's podcast and mentioned that. Like, I subscribed to it, I downloaded it, but I haven't heard it yet, and now I don't have the car with a good stereo, so this is difficult.
Welcome to my world.
I've attempted to Band-Aid the situation, man, with $7 of hardware.
No, I'd rather do it the fucking hard way. And
fine, you can go burn your own CDs with these podcasts, assuming they are under 80 minutes, or eke out what you can on Infraburner, whatever.
I just download it to my phone, and because of the Jeep's plastic cup holders and where the speaker is on my phone, I can put it in there.
It's a makeshift boombox.
It's a
makeshift.
Makeshift boombox is a great band name, also.
What was the thing? Like, you put your phone in a vase, and it amplifies from that.
Yes,
that same effect.
Makeshift boombox. That's a great.
Which is also the best Strokes song. I mean, Lonely Island song. Because Julian Casablancas was on that, which really makes for a better video than song.
Yeah. Lonely Island hasn't done anything.
I actually, no, but they're pretty incredible. Shut up.
No more emails, unless it's for gigs that don't exist, because I can't play anywhere, because nowhere's open.
You're going to play to the internet web.
Something like that.
Your stay-at-home tour.
Volume 1.
Or detour. Stay-home detour?
Of the 3 jobs I have, I only have to go to 2 of them. I can do one from here.
3?
Podcaster. Musician.
This is the job.
I count it as a job. For now. Maybe eventually. Because if enough of you people like this, we could do this shit for money.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? Wait, we're both white.
I asked you first. I said axe.
You did. That bothers me.
I'll be funny never.
You're funny now.
Funny looking.
I mean, it can be both.
Okay, I'll allow it.
I say we do car stuff since we're not really well versed in the Rogers stuff. We both know what song we like the most.
Yeah, and we know Stacy's mom, and that's about it from Fountains of Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they were around for 20 years, and I know that song. That's
same.
It.
Yep. Is it all you want, and you waited for so long though? Wait, what did Stacy look like? Did we ever find that out? What if Stacy was hotter?
Did you ever know Saucer Waitress Stacy? But that was a long time ago.
What year and what did she look like?
07, short blonde.
I'd have to see a picture.
I think she was one of the OGs.
One of the, when I think 07, I think Leslie, who was super cool and always super friendly. I will say that
calls these other ex.
I didn't even know that was a thing until recently, but I'm not delving into anything since this is being broadcast live now. But I don't know Jason enough to comment on this. So
I like him too.
I like the guy.
On.
I like the guy.
He's not watching this.
He's not watching this. Kayla's probably not watching this either.
No.
I digress.
Anyway,
what were we talking about?
Next phase, because we have no idea
Saucer
about
waitresses.
Fountains of things and stuff.
I am probably when I get my check from the government, which is hilariously not enough. It's just not enough. A $1,200.
Congratulations, that's one rent.
Maybe
my dump.
It might be
that for my place. That's $20 shy of one rent.
That's $50 plus one of my mortgages, but I don't need it. Emily's getting paid a full salary to stay at home. I'm got an extra amount of money. I got a 10% raise for the next 3 months to work in all this.
Is she aware that your pie can play Crash Team Racing? Because that was the one game she was interested in.
I know. But I don't need the money. I have the job. She has the money. Don't give that money to me. Give it to the unemployed. Like, I'm not saying there's a good way to do it, but like, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to, if it's $1,200, Emily can do whatever she wants with it. I mean, we're married. Like, she can, in the eyes of whatever, we're one, whatever. She can do whatever she wants with that. That's her money. But with my money, I think I'm going to take, of the $1,200, I'm probably going to take 1,000 of it and just take it to Saucer and go, I want you to give it, I want you to just split, give 150 to, this person. I'm just going to split it in between the girls that lost their jobs who aren't there. Like, so, because they need it and I fucking don't. Then I want to practice what I preach for a change instead of just being on a soapbox and saying this needs to happen. I want to be about something instead of just,
Are you saying you want to be the change you want to see in the world? And they're all getting paid in $50.
Nah. Well, another thing that I saw on the internet was everybody says, oh, yeah, COVID-19 treatment should be free. It should be free. And I'm like, well, where were you at when you said cancer treatments should be free? Nobody chose to get cancer, did they? What makes COVID-19 more of a 911 alarm than cancer or AIDS or anything else you don't choose to get? Some AIDS patient, I know they sleep around, but transfusions happen, and AIDS can happen during blood transfusions. So, all I'm saying is a little consistency here, guys. A little consistency. That's why health insurance shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right.
Did I tell you about the health insurance through Carvana?
Mm-mm.
It's free. You can opt to have something that pointed up towards your HRA with it.
Yeah.
But the general scheme of things, they had 2 plans, and they request nothing of you.
Nice.
So I opted for the higher plan and to put money towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And they will plunk in an extra $400 into the high deductible plan.
Oh.
Luckily, I need to use my insurance rarely. So that seemed like a decent idea.
Mm-hmm.
Versus previous employer was whatever have you, and an extra like $5 a check taken out. But it was like $60 a check,
mm-hmm.
which really ate into the last one when I was only there for a third of the last week. I was like, all right, your gross was $220. Your net is $80. A, concludes that. And 2, where's the last of my vacation time, guys?
Yeah.
At least I accrued, at least a quarter's worth in that time. Yeah, jerks.
Oy.
I've not contacted anybody there since the 13th of March to say, I think this is going to be it. I don't want to go back. I shan't need to go back unless, your warehouse guy's broken. I would happily drive a forklift for you, but I don't want to print.
Mm-mm.
I don't want a data center there. Like,
no.
The cushy job I had back in the day, that's done. There's so much bullshit they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You don't have to go back ever again. And Kaylin's job situation, she's working the whole time, right? Oh, no.
I think Friday the news broke that she is now 30 hours until further notice.
That's not great, but it's
not terrible,
not
but
terrible.
It was such a difficult road, A, reaching that conclusion, and 2, her bosses are nuts, that this this is going to be DIY dentistry. This has been so difficult to hear the ins and outs of what the fuck is this? I need to take a nap. No, I don't want to hear it. No, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
None of my bodies have driven me that nuts that I hate them that much. Like, the situations are bad, but we can be adults and move on instead of some sort of narcissistic gym teacher really having it out for you to indirectly cut your hours, and then, hey, your hours have actually been cut.
So she's working for Mrs. Trunchbull. Ugh. I have worked for a boss before like that. Only one. Only one I just didn't, actively had disdain for. The rest of them, they have their moments.
They're strange. They're your supervisor, but usually it's okay.
I got written up during a snowstorm when I was a dairy manager. Okay? I got written up.
Put your merch in the snow, stupid.
I got written up after that for running out of 1% milk. And when I got written up for it, she didn't like my answer. I was like, doesn't matter if it was 1%. I had the other stuff, and it's all milk flavored. That wasn't the right answer. I didn't sign my write-up because I'm not going to admit if I'm wrong if I'm not wrong.
No. Great. I'm going to mix 2% and skim. Fuck to you.
Mm-hmm. Skim milk is not milk. As Lewis Black said.
Water.
It's milk lying about... water lying about being milk. It's 2% or 1% or bust. I'll drink either one of those. I can't do whole milk. It's just too thick.
Have you seen 0.5%?
No.
Once upon a time, that was a thing.
Why? Where's 3% milk? Or 4?
How whole is whole?
That's true. And I don't know. I say we all go cat.
I'm just disappointed that buttermilk doesn't taste like butter.
It tastes like expired butter.
That was something I discovered about second grade. That was one of the cartons available that you'd had butter, whole, 2, 1, skim, chocolate. But that was just thing available for beverage.
Skim chocolate buttermilk.
Fuck. It took me once to discover this is a terrible idea in the late 80s. And why? Why would you do that to elementary school students? Then, now, ever. No.
Would you try...
Buttermilk is useful for
biscuits.
Cooking. Yeah.
Would you try skim chocolate buttermilk?
Yes.
I would too. We've been over this before. There's not many things I would eat that you wouldn't, and there are things you would eat that I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Although
I'll be angry, but I'm still curious, so there's that.
Angry but curious. We keep coming up with great band names. I need to listen back and
ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. ABC. Angry, curious, you and me.
Anybody? Yeah. Or AC,
totally
because anybody's one word. Have you figured out what's for dinner tonight? Because I can put that to-go order in with Emily, and she can go up there and get it for us.
We got plenty of food.
Okay.
So maybe it's pork chops, maybe it's not.
That's fair.
It's certainly not a necessity, but thank you.
Okay, fair. I'm kind of tired of eating the same shit every day because I can't go to On the Border like my once a week quota.
And you said Andy's
not working,
but doing okay.
He's okay. Yeah, the magic of being a 40-year-old man who lives by himself in an apartment and owns a racehorse who he has partial on racing horse.
Which hoof does he own?
I don't know, but if you ever want to buy a racing horse and you don't have enough money, you can go in with several other people, and by several, Andy and 199 other people own 2 horses I don't remember the name of one of them's name is She's Got It All. It's a filly because she. That's the name of one of them. I don't remember the name of the other one, but they actually
I don't see
race.
what Philadelphia has to do with any of this.
That's a place Toby's been. I haven't because that before all this shit happened, he and Mariah went to Philadelphia.
Okay. How was the weather there? Was it always sunny?
And cheesy.
By the way,
Yes.
shows you've not watched.
Oh, I've watched. Yeah, I've watched that.
Well, now there's 15 seasons of it.
15?
14.
That's
a lot.
That's more than you would think. I've watched enough of it to
you'll still enjoy it.
realize how
This
ridiculous.
is super fucking.
Is there a
Especially
Patty's
when
Pub?
Don't know. I haven't been. I have the shirt from it, and the more time that passes, the more I cannot fit that medium-sized T-shirt.
Well, what size is that? Extra sexy?
Large.
And what is Disco Volante in Italian?
Flying saucer.
But why does it say MY? Is it model year?
I get back down on that.
Because on the S2000 forums, it'll say MY04, MY. It's just model year.
Right. Model year 65.
So, guy interested in my S2000 messaged me. He's like, how quickly do you want to get rid of it? I'm like,
As soon as somebody has 20K, stupid.
I was like, I'd rather get close to the asking price, but money talks. So, he's like, well, just let me know how much you want for what you take. And I was like, well, I know the guy too. I was like, well, I don't want to play the game. I'm gonna list it on Auto Trader for $20,000. By the way, this guy has money because he sold his Audi R8 V10 and his 97 NSX-T, and he has a white S2K. Also, the guy's got money. This guy's got cash.
So for you, I'll sell it to you for a bunch of twos. So it's apparent you're not hurting. So fuck to your bank account.
Honestly, I thought about messaging him back and be like, I'm off Thursday. If you come with $19,000, I'll sign the title over to you right now. And I'll be going with it. Because as of yesterday...
I am too drunk to drive that car now. Shit.
I told Steve as of yesterday, I'm casually shopping bikes.
Yeah. He's looking for Hondas that rev higher than its current one, but how to kill himself more quickly. We'll miss you.
Well, I'm not going to be riding when it's super busy. I want the bike because I want to be able to take it out on a Saturday evening at 8, and do just with the stars above my head, and I want to take it out then. I'm not going to I'm ride it to work every now and then, but I really like the idea. I hadn't ridden a bike in over a decade.
I haven't ridden a bike since I was 13, but it was my cousin's trail bike, and somehow I got my knee stuck in the rear fender, which is proof that children shouldn't ride trail bikes.
Well,
or children shouldn't ride golf carts per Brittany's.
Yikes!
What the fuck?
Did you see the damage amount number?
It'll buff out.
Whew. Yeah, because it's a fuckus and it's cheap.
It's a Fusion, but yes.
What? It's fucking. It's a Fusion is a Focus that took Viagra. I'm casually looking at CBRs. A 600.
What was it? The CBX 1000 that has the straight 6 motor in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you're gonna get a bike, get something really interesting.
I think the CBRs are in. I was
but
looking at
that gray thing. We all really enjoyed that. By the way,
yeah, the 500s are 2-cylinder and they're 50 horsepower. The 500cc.
Well, anything that's a 500 is a starter bike.
Mm-hmm.
So between that and the Suzuki of similar displacement,
well, the starters are 250s and 300s. So the Honda 500 is still a starter bike.
Yeah, it's just, still enough to get you out of your own way, and you'll be comfortable up to about 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Here's the fun part. I didn't realize the exponential growth of it, but
oh shit!
The
my old warehouse boss at Regusella.
Mm-hmm.
His wife bought him a bike. It was a Suzuki 1200. And, he's still alive and well with 4 kids now.
Jesus.
But
that's a lot of sidecars.
His bike that she got him was a Suzuki 1200.
Jesus.
Like one of the naked bikes. Something that's the more stripped down model.
Right. I think there's a name I think in Honda, CBR is the one that has all the cladding, and the naked ones are VF.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't have my phone in front
of me. I like
so.
the lessened cladding models. Like, if you can make the bike look good, let it be the bike.
Oh, here's an example of the stair steps we got with Hondas, and I'm pretty sure it's the same with the Kawasaki's and Yamahas and Ducatis. So the CBR 500R has 50 horsepower out of a basically 500cc engine. The CBR 600RR has 105 horsepower, so it's over double the amount of horsepower, and it doubles the cylinders. So the 500 is a twin cylinder, and the 600 is a 4-cylinder. Which, by the way, there's no the thing is, I could get the 500 and learn on it, but
once you learn, you don't want to outgrow your bike that quickly.
No, I think the 600 would be a good choice. Starting out, if you start out buying a liter bike, like, you're an asshole. Like, if you've never ridden a bike before and you start out with a liter bike, you're asking to die. I think a 600 is going to be a lot at first, but once you respect it and realize you're not the boss of that machine, you just have to respect it.
And you're not so big.
Yes. I'm going to make sure everything's still good.
Do I need to collect for you the entirety of Michael in the Middle?
Here we go. Is the video still rolling? That's the issue. I have to make sure. Something went wrong. We're having playback issues. I wonder how long that ran before it quit. I wonder if it's just dead. I wonder if we're not even on video anymore.
Oh, shit. You know John Thompson?
That was my JV basketball coach for half a season when I was in high school.
Buddy of mine has the same name. Not Junior, but he's in LA now from
Oh, there we go. We're still live. It's weird to watch us in... I think we should do this more often, actually. I think we should do the live videos more often. What do you think? I kind of dig it, man.
If everything's going to embarrass me, whatever.
I kind of dig it. I like this. I'm
not
so
that worried.
I'm so sad that I can't go and get Mexican food as readily. Like, I can't sit there and have a conversation with the 2 bartenders we actually like instead of the creepy one we don't.
Yep.
Hey, he's not a bartender. He's a server.
Not a bartender, a server. It's just, for the better that, you're out of work and you'll never make it as anything more than a shingler.
You're out, Steve. You need more.
I do.
What do you want?
Surprise me.
I got the last one. Now it's your turn. So if you want to, we can split the biscuit IPA, or we can split the dog or the other peanut butter one before we do the 57 Chevys and old cars.
I don't know what the kittens this biscuit, the Bisquick beer.
Bisquick IPA.
Bisquick IPA.
You gonna do that?
Yep.
It's easily splittable.
Fun thing with talking.
Ooh. And we have glasses. Well, I am thinking about a bike. Steve, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a bad idea and 10 being a good idea, what do you think the bike would be?
3.
And of the 3, give the explanation for your reason.
You got this go fast thing that being a Honda won't break.
Right.
But it's still a bike. amidst these dumb drivers, especially when they will be allowed to be back on the roads, there's no bike that ever has a better option of being crashed into, against. You hurl yourself into a Buick or a tree. Ostensibly there are motorcycle airbags, but it's not good.
It's fun though.
So they say.
Blasting down the it's been a long time since I've been on a bike, but I'm gonna actually take the class. Like if I decide I want one, I'm gonna take the class just to refresh the old memory.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't even been on the highway on a bike.
I played with the idea back when I lived in Raleigh, if only for better parking.
Mm-hmm.
Because at NC State, they had designated motorcycle parking areas.
Of course. I want to do something different. Like, even if I keep the Jeep, get a bike, or get rid of the Jeep, get the Outback.
Get a Honoroon.
No.
You don't know what that is, do you?
No.
That is an 1800 cc powered straight six Honda Cruiser.
I don't want a cruiser. I want a street.
But just to have double straight six in your garage would be amazing.
I'll get the Supra.
You won't.
If I were to get, I think the coolest. I love the Supra. You know I do. And I liked it before Fast and Furious for reasons we've discussed on the podcast before. I
saw one on 485 the other day.
It'd be so cool.
It was like, oh,
yeah.
That's a unicorn.
It'd be so cool to have the SC300 6-speed with the Supra stuff in it. Because you'd have the calm, comfortable Lexus and just be able to...
But to have the
blast
twin turbo setup.
Oh, yeah. Just blast. Just pull up beside somebody. And you know what I would do? I'd have the stock exhaust on it. But I'd have exhaust dumps coming out the bottom. So I just press the button when I wanted to get on it really good. Like, hey, man, you want to go? Yeah, sure. That'd be so fucking cool. Have like an 800 horsepower SC300 that you could eat Grey Poupon in. That's Rolls Royce, but
yeah, the classic car, it'll work.
Classic car. But Steve, 57. This is episode 57 with Heinz 57, 57 Chevys, and 55, 56, 57 Chevys. Super duper popular. Probably one of the most popular tuner car. The first tuner car, really.
Yeah.
The first widely... I'd say the 90s Civic is the modern day 57 Chevy.
Sure.
Because it was cheap. It was cheap
plentiful
to run.
Mm-hmm.
They were everywhere. The parts were cheap, easy to tune. They were considered cool. I mean...
Still a handsome devil.
Yeah.
Because the 58s with the quad lights dropped off significantly. Never mind, I still like them.
Yes.
But don't trust my car tastes.
There are no vertical GTO quad lights.
No,
but that was the best.
Yeah. Like also the Suburbans coming way later. That you had the stack lights instead of the across lights for the 4eyes.
The first XJs had stacked lights.
Yep.
And that's a handsome fucking car.
Yes.
The reason...
More radiator space.
True.
Which Toyota is totally butchering now.
DeMuro did the Avalon TRD 2020. The Toyota Avalon of 2020 has a TRD model with suspension, brakes, more aggressive aero.
But the entire front end and hood are that awful hourglass.
Well, yes.
They dropped the ball. Something fierce.
Well, here's the thing. They did TRD appointments on everything.
You're
Body.
All going to say turd.
Body, wheels, tires, interior, not the engine. You still get the 305 horsepower V6. So what's the point? What's the fucking point?
It looks and handles better, man.
There's a limit to that. That's why they keep coming out with different.
Generous power appointment for this 2-ton car.
Well, there's a reason they keep coming out with these different iterations of the Toyota 86. But it just needs more horsepower. It doesn't need other colors.
Yeah.
It doesn't need better suspension.
What you want, Hakuni?
Yeah. Is that how you say that?
Hey, Cone.
I said hack one.
Hack one.
That. Because you know my stance on the 86.
When I listen to the Smoking Tire for the articles. I mean, the podcast.
Steve, after you pour that one, you're going to have to tell everybody what we're drinking because it intrigued you. It tickled your fancy. It funnied your bone. It pickled your cucumber when I showed it to you. Look at all that head. Steve just gave me a lot of head.
Tiny glass. What are you going to do? I got myself less, but I'm not flexible.
I wish I was. I'd never leave the house.
So what we have here is the Duck Rabbit Fluffy Biscuits Biscuit IPA. Bounds of fruit forward, juicy. Hops with select oat and barley malts, which have been roasted and toasted to evoke biscuity flavors. Which makes me sad that the nearest Biscuitville is an Indian Trail.
It's too bad they didn't have a biscuit and gravy IPA.
Be this, but smoked.
Steve, that's not very good.
It tastes like neither.
It doesn't taste like an IPA, and it doesn't taste like biscuits. That's not very good. What's the date on this?
Stick to anything else. Duck
rabbit. Dog rabbit.
Dog rabbit.
Duckfish.
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 Really makes me miss this all of a sudden. That could make this all go away.
Oh, there it is.
It was an ounce package.
Well, the date does say 01/31/20.
Okay, so it is past due.
So,
and by our flavorings, it's past due.
Well, here's a Top Gear top tip for you guys. Oh yeah, here's a Top Gear top tip. Total Wine's good for your cigars and your beer. Do not ever buy any clearance items in food from Total Wine. Explanation upon request.
There? Because this is all stuff that's approaching due date.
No.
And you shouldn't buy them?
Past. So they always have like clearance items like, hey, while it lasts, every time I've been to Total Wine, the peanuts or bar mix or chips or like any pub snack shit like that, they have bags or cartons. It's all expired. It's out of date. It's not approaching date. Now, at Food Lion, which I'm a proud member of, anybody watching this, for almost 18 years now. Yes. We don't sell out-of-date food. We're not supposed to, you don't reduce out-of-date food.
No,
I reduce out-of-date plants.
It goes.
Yeah. If I have out-of-date plants, I'll reduce them to super
things
cheap.
that are already growing. Sure.
Right. If you're not going to eat that fern, I'm going to sell you.
During the time I bought this, I had some items in my cart that were past due. Like they were actively just throwing them out.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. You can't buy this thing. It's like, it's in the freezer. Don't care. Getting rid of it. Like the store's closing. We don't care.
Yep.
You cannot buy this whatever crazy meatball marble pizza you wanted.
Mm-hmm. That's
whoops.
Now,
Yeah, for frozen goods, that seems a bit egregious, but
Yeah.
for anything shelf stable, it makes sense.
Look, if I owned a store, I would not sell out of date product at a reduced price because I would be fearful of if somebody got sick from it. Never mind the fact that it's unlikely that anybody's going to get sick from eating peanuts or chips that are out. But the problem is it's
The
not it's
principle.
the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
Don't reduce something that's out of throw it away. Reduce it a
No,
week before it goes out of date.
At the worst, like, all right, your peanuts are stale.
Yeah.
It's made of salt anyway. You're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Your peanuts might be soft,
It's definitely the principle. So if you go to Total
which
Wine,
oddly enough is the opposite thereof is the principle behind Bargain Hunt.
true.
That everything is at or maybe beyond expiration, but it's all dry goods.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not,
But the savings,
what was that from Archer?
yeah.
Who?
Barry versus Krieger.
Oh
Like $80 you saved.
The reason I think back from an hour ago now, hour and a while.
Whatever.
The reason I think 90s was pinnacle was because the cars all looked different. Even back to the 50s, your Bel Airs versus your Thunderbirds, they kind of look the same.
That's a couple of Hanson Devils.
It is, but as far as differentiation, it's
The concept's the same, that you have the hooded headlights and giant hood leading to the styling thereof and some generous fins in the back because your visibility is stupid and you do not need to see what is behind you.
true. It's more important to see what's in front of you.
It's a running gag from Cannibal Run. Mirrors? We don't need mirrors.
I think
Behind me. I can pass them.
You do realize, I think back in October or November when we did an episode, we were supposed to do the I-40 in 40 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a
pipe dream.
And
how about you and I do a old Route 66 trip?
so we first have to make it up to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Wind up in Southern California.
I don't see a problem in any of this.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do it?
If and when we may.
I want to do it.
Still, let's may.
I think we should. But in the 50s and 60s, like, the cars all looked kind of similar to me. And now...
But everything looks so much cooler then.
It was, but even now, cars all look the same. All sedans, your crossovers.
Mm-hmm. Wind tunnel testing has established what works. I've mentioned this on the pod before. The running gag of your side profiles of your modern compact or sport utes.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck telling what's what.
Yeah. You need more. I know you don't want more, but we're splitting this. We're in this together now. No. Well, you going to mix it?
A lot of this, a lot of that. Sure.
All right.
You're not a Beatles fan, but I get by with a little help from my friends.
Let it be. Well, that wasn't a beat. That was McCartney. That was 1/4 Beatle.
That was still Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Did you see the conspiracy theory of Paul McCartney, like, died?
Yeah. Don't care.
Where's my top? Oh, there it is. Well, yeah, I don't understand. Yeah,
it's weird and strange. And
I've never had a whiskey mixed with an IPA.
It's less
right.
terrible.
All right,
There's that.
That's interesting. This is one of my new favorite because when I was standing in line, I was behind two furloughed employees. I was with two ladies. One was a teacher, one was a dental hygienist. And we were discussing how much we hated people now. And I was like, you have no idea how much you actually hate people until you walk a mile in these solid black shoes of mine. I have my uniform on and everything. I was explaining to them just how horrible people are, throwing their trash on the ground. Every morning I go in, there's gloves and masks in our parking lot. People just throw down. They don't care. So
free gloves, free masks.
Ugh. Well, funny story. The other day, our deli manager, Holly, she was working, and a customer came up to her wearing a mask and about 6 feet away, obviously. And he goes, do you guys have any of this item? And she said, no, I'm sorry, we're sold out. He's, that's fine. I'll it's fine. I can grab something else. But he goes, I want to thank you guys for working. I do appreciate it. And I don't know how much you hear that, but I appreciate it. And she said, you're welcome. You're welcome. And he takes his mask off, and he tries to hand it to her. He goes, here, why don't you wear it? He goes, here, you wear this. You need it more than I do. And she goes, sir, I'm not taking that mask from your mouth. And he goes, oh, it's okay. I don't have coronavirus. Well, that might be true. But even if you didn't have coronavirus, I'm not going to put the mask that you just had on your face on my face. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Do you think the guys in Slipknot are okay?
Probably. I always said, we were trying to figure out our masks at work. So in produce, I was going to wear Michael Myers' mask. Samir was going to wear a Jason mask. Justin was going to wear a Pinhead mask.
Ooh. Wait, that's a mask? I thought you just have to get aggressive with your hardware.
It's easier to do it as a mask than it is the other.
Oh, I was way off.
We try to get Jason to do Leprechaun. Why would you think?
Oh, nope.
Why?
Nope.
Why would you think it would be okay? What in your mind? And this guy was in his 60s. So you would think he would be old enough to realize the stupidity of what he just said.
Security.
We don't have security.
It's not a Ross store.
Yeah.
If TJ Maxx is too fancy, go there, which is hilarious when TJ Marshall's completely kiboshed all operations really early in the game.
Forgetting TJ Marshall's.
Even their online store is off. Half the fun of that store is going through and finding random shit.
That and Tuesday morning.
I don't like that one.
I like that one a little bit better.
I never enjoyed Tuesday morning. It's like, yes, there's random shit, but it's all too expensive. I want to, but I never got on board with going only when they were open Tuesday mornings. How did you ever afford that real estate? And then it just makes the name of the store, but I never liked them.
I don't blame you. I liked it.
It's just weird.
I liked it, but I was in there specifically looking for cat-related things for Emily for Christmas. And so it was cheap for what I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
But
nothing's correct.
No.
It's just it's all off, and whatever I found interesting is overpriced, and I know 6 different stores that could do this better and cheaper.
That's fair. That is fair. I think Hobby Lobby actually closed today and furloughed all their employees.
I'd heard something earlier surrounding that looking real bad, and then, hey, here's proof. A, and 2, don't. 3, go. 4, there.
Yeah.
is the Chick-fil-A of craft stores. It is the fascist craft shack.
Damn it. Quit adding shit to this fascist craft shack.
You've still got the entire middle part of that sheet, right?
Stop bringing a bunch of Q's. And now
it's a
P's.
9, an 8, and an 8.
And now P's and Q's. Please mind them.
I don't want to.
Me either. Well, Steve, I think this episode's almost done. And now it's the first live episode. The whole episode.
We didn't talk cars at all, but whatever.
57 Chevys.
Eh.
And the 90s car design. All right, that was before we end.
I'm drunk. Don't listen to me.
If first time listener or first time watcher,
suckers,
we drink the entire time, so it gets a little bit silly. 90s was pinnacle of design because all the cars looked different. The cars in the 50s looked the same. The cars now all look the same. The cars in the 80s were different to a point, but they were all boxy, so they kind of all looked the same. The 90s
different boxes, man.
The 90s was pinnacle of design, I think. The cars all looked different. Everything was style. They didn't care about wind tunnel or the undercarriage. They didn't care about aerodynamics. They just cared about how cool or
bizarre, interesting, whatever have you. They could make it.
All right, so
there's a reason that all the lifted sport boxes look the same. What's your sport? Golf. The only thing you can still play now, because that, much like playing accordion, is automatically social distancing.
Yes.
I can't word the thing right. When we went to Tamarind in Monroe the other day, we passed a bowling alley. There were a lot of cars in front of it.
Was it Bolero?
Get back to you on that.
Right there, like if you cross over Independence?
Somewhere along 601 and 74.
Never mind. I was thinking.
Okay, yeah,
but I know what you're talking about.
There's a different one there of like Joe's Bowling Alley or something.
Yeah,
but it's like that is also kind of automatically a social distancing thing, and I can't even say the words right. Social distancing. Steve's drunk and can't bowl to save his life, so that make quitting that sport easy too. But yeah, it was like a dozen cars in front of someone's Ballrama and chicken frying
that's it.
shack.
Every time we would play at Southern Range or Southern Roots, we would drive by Ballrama, and the parking lot would be packed. And from what you just said, it's
no right. So, like, take your pick. Do you occupy the even or odd number lanes? Because that kind of gives everybody a lot of space, except for the people actively bowling.
Market zero. Market
now,
zero.
Walter.
Market zero, dude. Oh, Jesus. But the cars look different. Like your 80s or 70s, 80s Honda and Toyota, Nissan products, Datsun products, all look the same. Your Fords, your Chevys, they had that same square boxy look. They all look the same now. In the 90s, everything was different. They styled them differently.
And then by 96, Ford really did.
That's true.
For the worse, but still.
The perfect daily, if they made it in a stick, would have been a 96 Impala Super Sport with a 6-speed manual.
There are powers that convert that.
True,
and
but is it worth it? Because that was column
by
shift.
Somebody else's project. If you need to suffer an automatic, make it a column shift because you're not fooling anybody.
True. I'm still thinking about a bike. I kind of want a bike. It'd be nice to go out when it's nice out and just feel the air. That'd be so cool. Thomas is thinking about it too. How much more dangerous is it, though, for Thomas to have a bike than me? Steve's about to get up. Well,
I'm going to flip the chair off its spindle here, guys. I don't wish for his death.
Me either.
No. Just no. I fear he would invite that with haste to do so.
You don't think he would respect the speed of it? I'm being. Look. I'm pretending to be Keanu Reeves. I'm pretending to be the devil's advocate. Wait, was it Pacino that was the devil? No, Pacino was the devil, and Keanu Reeves was devil's advocate. Right? Right?
Never saw it.
What?
We won't know for 20
That's actually
seconds.
one I've seen, and you haven't.
Hey! He already actively killed a CRV, and then can't kill second CRV that was a given.
Yeah.
Because he likes his Scooby better.
Even though
maybe
he doesn't
because
drive
he has to pay for it.
I don't know. No, he paid cash for it. It was a trust set up from when he was a kid. He paid cash for that thing. I don't know who would buy a car and not drive it.
You're not a bottle open.
But I just gave myself a bunch of head. I don't possess that dexterity.
Not now, Marilyn Manson.
That's a rumor. Really. I'm extremely disappointed in this. It does not taste like a biscuit at all. I'm not sure where they got that name from. And I love Duck Rabbit. Duck Rabbit's one of my jams. Mounds of fruit-forward juicy hops with oat and barley, which have been roasted and toasted to evoke biscuity flavors. And it just doesn't.
No. And two, they've always been more stouts and porters heavy.
Mm-hmm.
This is out of their league, out of their genre. Over the line, Donnie.
I'm calm, dude. Steve, we're coming to a close here.
You can see it, folks. We're disappointed.
I let one of my coworkers, was like, hey, you do a podcast. That's cool. I looked it up. It was like, you didn't tell me the episodes were 2 hours long. I'm like, the episodes are 2 hours long. They're anywhere from, I think the shortest we've done is like an hour and 20 minutes. The longest we've done is like 3.5. So the good average is 2 hours.
Do you have multiple drives to and from work?
Yeah.
Do you have nothing to do around the house?
Now.
Don't complain to us how long the episodes are.
Yeah. This might be a new thing, actually, the live. I like the live stream thing. What do you think? I kind of like it.
I keep forgetting it's there.
You too? It's kind of nice because my buddy Ryan Davis, who comedian we talked about before, he's like, you need to do video more because people they'll listen to things, but they like watching things, even if it's mundane and silly, which we are mundane and silly. So maybe we should start doing this because that's the perfect platform right there. It fits perfectly. Everything's nice.
Are you saying this is a bad time to start licking your camera?
Well, if you set up a webcam, if you bring your webcam and set it up, we can set it up here and not have to use my phone.
It was a small wonder that worked.
You built this computer and it's worked for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's produced 57 episodes and one album of mine. So
why not both?
You did good, City Jim. You're not a city splitch. You're a city Jim. Evidently, in Ireland, a city splitch is like a derogatory term. Well, Steve, I think this episode's done. I'm craving some Mexican food. If you are too, we can order takeout for two, or you can go back to the missus and see what she made you.
Fair enough.
All right, so for episode 57, this one's been rather fun, rather random. A lot of things going on here.
Would us do that? No.
Yeah, but we're usually fairly... All right, no, we're not.
Forget it.
All right.
And 5 get it.
Well,
And 57 get it.
Well, for episode 57, he's Steve.
And he's AJ.
We're done. Guys, see you on episode 58, and please stay safe, cover your mouth, and don't take any wooden nickels. I love you. Steve?
I tolerate you.
All right. Later.